through the portals and experiencing every single one of them.
Again, this is the favorite Playa moment, Rites of Passage 2011. Tim O'Gallagher.
My favorite thing about this year is being here. The miracle, the Playa magic. When I didn't think I was going to go.
That's mine.
Nice.
My favorite Playa moment so far was wandering out into the playa at dawn and sitting in a random puddle of dust watching the sunrise.
Nice.
I thought my answer was easy, but it's actually... I'm stuck. I'm stuck because Kev Diddy and I had just a night of doing no wrong. We couldn't take a step without bringing ourselves closer to awesome. So it's a toss-up between that night and the next night where Rally and I were set on finding an art car to just nap on for a couple of hours and cruise around the playa for the evening. And we're going around looking for the right situation, and just nothing was coming up. Nothing was coming up. It's like, oh, that's a bunch of douchebags there, and oh, they're playing obnoxious music, and that one's not slowing down. And those people there told us to get on, but they were going at 15 miles an hour, and just, you know. And then we're going along. We find this nondescript little car, you know, but it was the right situation. It was covered with these cushy pillows and everything, and it was all open, so you could just see the playa around you as you're going. But it looked kind of full, and all of a sudden we're coming around, and what do I see but Roger and Lonnie Joe sitting there, and I was just like, oh man, a couple of campmates saved us a spot on a cushy car, got on, met some interesting people, just cruised around for a few hours. It was a great night. So it was a toss-up. I mean, that was
fun.
And what are we inside right now, Dapper? What is this place called?
Oh, this is called Pentamidia. It
Commonly known as...
was actually decommissioned last year, but due to a lack of time, it was
and/or preparation.
it was reinstated into service at the last minute. Actually, I reinstated into service on the playa. It hasn't been opened up since last year.
Nice.
So it's a little rough around the edges, but it gets the job done.
And Allie.
Favorite playa moment? Really too many, but I really like dancing in front of the old-timey front porch. That was good.
That was,
Nice.
that was one of my highs too.
Yeah. Every day's been great.
Good. One of my favorite moments, I think Dapper was kind of touching upon. Dapper, Allie, Marshall, and a couple other friends. We were all just hanging out on the Esplanade.
Round 3!
Yeah, we called ourselves Round 3, 7. That's when we were all kind of like trying to figure out. Grade 1 person, Round 3. Anyways, we were all dancing, and Dapper like, no, let's not go dancing. So they stayed at like 10 o'clock in Esplanade, danced at the domes. Dapper and I went far off into the deep playa and separated. And we just saw this random diner in the middle of nowhere, and they were serving grilled cheese. Grilled cheese sandwich.
Dust City Diner.
Dust City Diner. And Dapper and I sat down in the middle of nowhere and had grilled cheese and pickles. And then we're like, sweet. And then we're like, let's just keep on going. As he was mentioning, we could not turn. And we went to one great place to another great place. And we're like, what is that little orange glowing light far off? And
Starfuckers?
we went to Starfuckers.
You went to Starfuckers?
Yeah, we got to Starfuckers. But that's not.
I can bring you to Starbucks.
That's not the orange thing we saw. The orange thing that we saw.
Let's go tomorrow.
We kept on going. We saw the orange thing, and then Dapper and I were like, well, let's go look inside of it. And as we're walking up, I could tell Dapper's like, oh, look at that bike. And I was like, hey, I recognize this art piece. This is Marshall's art piece. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden, they were all inside of the art piece. They happened to they left that dance circle and went inside of that art piece, and we saw them. We congregated together again, and our bond was joined again. And round three. Bad boy.
What haven't been my favorite playa moments? Oh my God. I mean, starting even in Portland, getting a text that, hey, show up on playa, you got a ticket. And changing from not going to Burning Man to probably going to Burning Man, and then at Burning Man. Awesome road trip.
And then in line for Burning Man.
Yeah, that was definitely the unfavorite. Coming in late and 3.5 hours waiting in line.
Yes.
Favorite moments, like Joyce and I went out to the temple a few days ago, and it was just gorgeous, really beautiful temple this year. It's really big. Kind of reminded me of the one from 2004. It's just spread out and you can climb it. And, kind of in the center of the temple, there was this woman with singing bowls, and she was doing all the singing bowls, and we were just kind of watching and listening, and people were oming and laying, and then this woman started playing a didgeridoo, and she was going around ditching people, and we were probably there about 10 or 15 minutes while this was going on, and all of a sudden they had all these bells, and I think they're gamelons.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the gamelons started
Tibetan
going
bells.
on, getting Tibetan gamelons, and that was just amazing, totally unexpected. The whole place is just going crazy with these Tibetan gamelons. That was a pretty awesome moment. Another was when we had Joroboro for our whiteout party,
Which was phenomenal.
we were, trying to get some video of boutiquers on the runway, and I was just kind of standing in the back, getting a bunch of boutiquers, and Kent jumped up there and started dancing, and I just kind of started dancing with him, and he was kind of interacting back, and, next thing we know, we're kind of doing this dance off, and that was really fun.
And then you landed, and then he kicked you off
Kicked me off, yeah.
And then he fell
forced
down
you
the stage.
Violently forced you
Right.
off with a
I did fall off the
stellar
runway,
dance move.
but I did land it recovered without even missing a beat.
Amazing.
So he actually thought I did it on purpose. Fell off the runway trying to get past him, literally kept going, ran back up on the runway, and kept dancing.
I think 30 seconds
job,
before that,
kid.
I asked, has
Way
it
to own
never
that
fallen off the
runway,
runway? And then you fell off the runway.
He's like not messing around when it comes to the runway. It's you don't mess with the Kent
Don't mess with it.
because it'll force you off that thing.
So let's end it with a little Burning Man on 3, 1. Burning Man.